We are the semi-finals of the Red Bull Campus Clutch. This is it, the South African finals. The winner gets to go overseas and compete in the Campus Clutch Grand Finals, and we get to watch our top-seeded team for the first time. They got a bye in the first round. They're coming in, a new face for you, and 5 new faces. Soft Gang from Cape Town is here, facing off against Team, who you saw a little bit earlier. And this is going to be interesting. Like I said, that top seed, all at university, but also, interestingly enough, all of them actually do play together regularly in the South African Valorant League, which means they've got that competitive edge, they've got that competitive experience.
Absolutely. I mean, coming up against a team like Team, you really have to have that in your pocket or in your backpack. So looking at the squad that's coming in, Team sticking to their standard composition. They are happy to play Ascent, and they're going to be utilizing that Yoru. They're going to be doing the double smokes, and I cannot wait to see what more we actually see from their strategies, because, as I said, this is completely out of whack for Valorant. You don't usually have 2 smokes.
So this was interesting because it would appear that Soft Gang, they're obviously still hovering on some of their agent selects, almost like they were waiting to see what team was going to play before they made that decision here. So they're just hanging on. There is absolutely no way they're going to move in with 5 duelists, and as I say that, of course, there you go. They were hovering, just wanted to give a little bit of surprise. They're going with that double duelist. What do you think about this matchup?
This is a fantastic standard double duelist play, and I think that if there's a composition that you want to go in with for your first match of the day, it is something that looks almost identical to this, maybe just swapping some duelists around. The only thing is, I don't know how to deal with these double smokes. I don't know if this is really what's going to be the key to victory, or if this is going to let them find their footing, because this is a best of 3, of course. So they do have a bit of room to play around in.
It is their map pick as well. They chose Ascent, but saying that, Team says that Ascent is one of their favorite maps as well, so I think both pretty much quite comfortable. In fact, ironically enough, they both said that Ascent and Bind were their favorite maps. We're not going to see a Bind because we know what the next map pick is, but they're both playing on Ascent. They're comfortable on this. We saw the double smokes from Team, but we saw the double smokes. So did Soft Gang, because they were here early on in the venue. They had a chance to sit and watch their opposition play, get a feel for them, a little bit of a nice bonus for them, because a lot of these teams didn't know what they were going up against. That means that they had time to talk about it. They've had time to say, you know what, if they play these smokes, this is what we need to do and how we need to adjust.
Ooh, Newt already being a little bit scared away from his position here. Right now we have 2 duelists sitting on B for the side of Team, and the flash came through once again. Quagga already rotating out, as there's already contact happening over in Tree. Scoped going to be pushing in alongside his teammates over onto A. They get rid of the turret as well, and it's all up to Nightmare now to try and slow down this attack, because they are funneling right through. Nightmare goes down. Quagga needs to find something. He's on 65 health, and all he has is a classic to work with. His teammates is Trigger still over in mid. He gets taken out as well, and although Trigger did find a pick, he's on his own against 4 players. 2 are very injured, and he takes the advantage as soon as he can. Hot Hands coming down to heal him up a little bit. And hopefully we can see Trigger pull the trigger on something to make it really happen here. Currently over in A long, just 2 players holding back. There's a turret as well. That's going to see Trigger as soon as he tries to peek. A recon drone as well. He's slowed down on his jump. He does get the pick. That was unexpected. And 22 health. Just the turret alone could kill him here. Puts him down to 4. He can't re-peek this. This is just absolute doom for him. As
he was going to try anyway, because no one wants to just stand and wait. But Team getting a nice little shake up there, and Soft Gang, top seed, saying, you know what, we're here to play.
Absolutely. Soft Gang not messing around, and so far we can already see Yassine playing really nicely on the Killjoy there, knowing to set up as soon as you have the post-plant. PK as well, who's actually going to be moving up over into Ares here, which is something that we saw from the boys earlier on Team A and Team B. But, I mean, really, there's only so much you can do there, and this could be a lineup and a half. We're going to have to see exactly where Styles lands. There's one, and waiting for it, there is number 2, which we will follow and see exactly where these end up landing, because they know Newt likes waiting here. Of course, Newt has changed his angle this time around, so he is not killed just yet, but we do have trades happening over on B, as already Soft Gang have pushed through completely. Empress comes out as well for Snowy, and there's just no one there to even deal with this push whatsoever. Molly just holding onto these sky smokes. Nightmare is going to have to drop down with him. And they're not aware that they're all already on B. Do you pick up the Odin though? So, well, I mean, the Ares actually. So they have weaponry to work with. They're not just stuck with classics. They know that the bomb's planted.
They are on the back foot now because they didn't realize
Absolutely.
everyone was on B. They're all sitting on B. They're going to be watching all the entrances for that. So even with this rotate, you're walking into that enemy fire. And all that Soft Gang has to do is just wait for you to come to them.
That's exactly what they'll do. You do see we have a crossfire set up between Scoped and Yassine. Marley's going to try and push in and get a kill. Not quite able to. It's all up to Nightmare now. And there's so much utility set up over on stairs as well. So Nightmare, he can stall them out so that they die to the bomb. But even that is going to be a pretty hard ask as all three of them swing him. He gets the tag, not the kill.
Soft Gang, our #1 seed, they're showing why they were the first team to qualify for the finals of the Red Bull Campus Clutch. 2 rounds in the bag for them, and they're looking very dominant. They're looking quite scary. They're working really well as a team. There's a lot of synergy there. There's a lot of cohesion. And I think the comms are pretty good because they rotate and move around really fast. I like this play that they do where they always send 2 up to A and they keep the rest of the team on B and then make a decision sort of once they've seen a little bit about what mid looks like as well before they determine where to plant.
Ooh, now this is a bit different. Smoked off. Snowy pushing right through the smoke. Look at this aggression, and it's going to be met over an A main. Trigger has the curveball, knows that they're here, forces Newt to use his Astra Star, and this delays him. He might just be shot in the back. Snowy does exactly that, finding Newt, opening up the site. There is a flash, but they've just pushed right on in, and usually the defenders are favored here, but Soft Gang have a different plan.
Soft Gang has, I think they have a plan for everything. Look at that. They've got their spike down, and now they're going to put Team on the back foot because Team has to now try and get rid of them as quickly as possible, but they are dominating the site. They've got full control on A. It's going to be a really hard fight for Quagga. I don't know what he's going to do or how he's going to do it. Snowy's just holding back there, knows the line, knows exactly where Quagga is, and he's just waiting. Nightmare as well might try to sneak through, but I just think that Soft Gang's got it on lockdown.
Yeah, as you can see right now, from the side team, they're just going to be saving their weaponry, which means it's time for us to look at the economy, and that's what they have to do. They spent just about all their cash to get these weapons on the side of team in the green, and now on the red, they're keeping 4 weapons. They're going to buy up to another one, and they've got more than enough cash to do 2 rounds in a row.
This is looking very good. They take that round more than expected. Soft Gang, where'd you come from? Apparently PK has this very secret pre-match ritual. I tried to get a peek to see what it was and I couldn't, but it's working in their favor. Seems to be that they're holding it really well together. They've obviously done their prep and they're just looking really good.
Absolutely, and now PK actually coming out with the Odin as his weapon of choice. And I think that was actually something that they mentioned to us, saying that that's something he enjoys doing. And the prowess or the power that you have with the Odin on a server is his recon dart can reveal where people are. And the Odin has the highest penetration in the game. So once he reveals, he can just shoot through walls and laser them. But looking at that, I mean, we do see an aggressive push coming through with Trigger, actually backing off, coming over to assist Marley in mid. Nightmare going to open up with the first kill. Newt needs to be careful as, oh, they're both flashed and Newt falls down to Young Fates. Oh my, hot hands keeping him alive, hurting his ally a little bit, but not all too much. And they don't need to commit to A. They're going to rotate over back to B as...
And it's an open season on B. If they make that move, I think you can see that the team's kind of figured it's coming, but I believe that Soft Gang will probably get there a little bit sooner. But as I say that, okay, team, they've got this. They've seen what's happening. PK with that Odin, apparently the secret weapon for Soft Gang, and the plant for the spike is coming in, so they're going to be dropping that down. They've just done that 2v3 PK on the Odin, the secret weapon. Is it going to be enough?
Oh, it might just... Oh, what a lovely angle. Okay, running back is coming out. He doesn't notice it. He still gets it anyways! Oh, Quagga goes down. Now it's just up to Trigger.
Scoped is low. Trigger kind of knows where he is, I think. That would look to me, but as I say that...
No, he just missed that.
He just missed it a little bit. Throws that in, takes it down. Good job from team. They claim the round. There's the defuse. They're going to be feeling a lot good. You see Trigger doing a little dance there. He's feeling happy. He's feeling good.
Oh, he definitely is. And oh, even a little bit of a cheeky BM there just to show that he is the player who's on top right now. And going back to the scoreline, I was talking about the economy, that they were not in a good situation on that round. And now getting that win means that they can start pushing themselves further forward. You can see they're potentially going to force up, so they're still not in a good situation. But it's definitely better from the dregs that they were in before, especially with PK buying an Odin, which is more expensive than your standard rifle.
PK on the Odin is pretty scary, though.
Oh, absolutely. It's not something you want to face up against, but when you do face up against it, you have to manage to take him down somehow.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Okay, so that's an aggressive run it back already from Young Fades. Gonna just flash through the molly, get rid of the turret, and get the info. Newt is so damaged. Snowy actually followed up and got the kill as well. They don't know that Nightmare's waiting there. He got the information now because of the dismissal. And oh, yes, gets another one. And he's just going to keep pushing forward. He's one kill away from using Empress, or at least having it available for that matter. PK finds a molly, and Trigger gets one, can't find the second. Quagga taken down as well. Snowy giving us a highlight reel.
Really good from Snowy, and so fast. I mean, we weren't even calling it because it just happened. They were so quick, and all of their players know what their job is, and they go off and they do it, and it happens really fast. And I'm loving the teamwork, the synergy that we're seeing from SoftGang is something that I think any teams watching Luna, Valorant, be a little bit worried, because this synergy, if they're able to make it through, it could be a little bit scary. They're working really well as a cohesive unit. So I think what needs to happen now is team needs to find out how you smash that unit up. Smash him apart, force him to play individual games.
Oh, that's exactly what they've done. Trigger pushing outside alongside Quagga to get the kill. Of course, Amali falling in mid means that they only have one player with smokes, but of course, that's what their strategy surrounds around. And now, Newt had a bit of a crossfire here with Nightmare, but now pushing up, they know that there's a player in mid. Very good discipline not re-peeking that as well. Probably going to smoke it off so that he can... Oh, okay, that's a lot of damage. Now he has to worry about the Ares. He needs to run across, which is what he's able to do at least. Bomb sitting in mid and moving further up mid as well. PK scoped. Want to find a way in. Trigger. Oh, he took so much damage there, and he flashed himself with the curveball. Awful form.
It's a 3v3 on paper, but in reality, if you look in the server, it's now a 2v3, and it's more like a 1.5 versus 3, because Quagga's, his health is so low. It's going to be one little shot. They just need to shoot your baby toe.
Oh no. Okay, so Dimensional Drift brings him back so that he's playing alongside Nightmare. It's a 2v2. He did manage to get the kill, and that was a kill that really mattered. So now he's going to try rejoin Nightmare so they can play this together. But if Nightmare peaks too early, it's turned into a 2v1. Quagga only has 22 health. At least there's info, but oh my, this is going to be heartbreaking. Yassine taking the kill. And SoftGang, 5-1.
So I do think that what works in Yassine's favor there was specifically the bot that he had set up. That was able to kind of just do the extra damage he needed, and with Quagga's with his HP so low, it was an easy pickings. And that's where the abilities of these agents come into play. Really useful when you're peeking an angle to set down that little robot, because you know it's going to shoot everyone for you.
And an important fact, though, is that was a save round for the side of Team. So now, both teams on buys, there's a much higher chance for Team to show a better form, I guess would be the best way to put it. But this aggressive push already, we see Empress coming out, Lockdown coming down, Lear pushed out as they're going to swing directly onto site, and the lack of a Sentinel is proving to be quite detrimental to Team's push, or Team's defense. Young Fades find Quagga, and Trigger actually has to back off. Amali gets rid of the bot, but now they know that he is on the flank. They've got the bomb down, and Newt wants to start pushing this, but Scoped has a massive advantage with the Empress. He can take those range fights, and he should be winning them 5 out of 10 times. Now, Amali pushing out, does get a headshot over onto Scope. Snowy fell as well, thanks to Newt. And here we go, Orbital Strike in backside, pushes them all up, forces them out. Curveball from Young Fades is going to stop the push, the bot from Nightmare. And here we have, oh, run it back. Stop from Nightmare. This lockdown could potentially turn everything. Oh no, it's not enough. They peaked before the lockdown was over. They could have won the round with a little bit more patience.
Okay, so if you're watching and you don't understand Valorant and you've been like, what is going on? Because you saw some purple smoke and then you saw some gray smoke and then you saw some fire and you saw some bright lights and you saw it just looked like someone had taken a really bad acid trip. Let me explain what you just saw. All of these agents have those different abilities that we've spoken about. They have different ultimates as well. What happened right there is pretty much all the agents just started dropping everything that they had in their arsenals all at the same time. It's the fantastic part about this game because it can change it completely. You can drag people in, you can blind them, you can set them on fire, or you can rain hell from the sky. You got to see all of that in that go, and good job to SoftGang for being able to take out that round.
Absolutely. I mean, they were definitely in a losing position. They managed to turn that around, but Trigger, so stealthy. He's heard the bomb drop. He's going to hold onto this angle. Newt, position has been given away from the Owl drone, but Amali is there to back him up. Hunter's Fury. Oh no, he walks into the hot hands. Oh my, okay. PK gets 2 with the Hunter's Fury, which means the A side is completely open. Trigger does have a fantastic position, but he's just got a classic. He has to be so careful.
He's just given away his position in that case as well.
Oh, he just kept spraying!
That was unfortunate. The gun that he was using, he just didn't get the shot landed, and immediately everyone knew where he was. Once that happens, you need to get out of there because peeking it means that they've already been waiting. And as I say, that SoftGang takes down Nightmare 7 rounds to 1. This #1 seed is coming in hot. They are playing for their life. I said earlier that Valorant wants to go overseas. I'm starting to think SoftGang does as well.
I mean, an opportunity like that is once in a lifetime, and you're going to fight for it. So hopefully Team can start turning things around. SoftGang looking so good, so solid. They know how to counter these abilities, and it's fantastic to see. So now, once again, we do have more of a buy coming out from the side of Team. Trigger opting for a Guardian, which is one of the least used weapons in the entire game. However, at all ranges, it is a one-shot headshot kill, but it is not automatic. It is you tap to fire that weapon. Mid, going to be pushed on. Hot Hands not quite landing on connector, so Trigger might have just hurt his team's chances quite a bit there, as Young Fades we see in the corner getting the pick over onto Newt, whilst they've just left A side open. They've set up all the utilities on B. Scope is planted at generator default.
So now the situation is that Team needs to try and rotate, but they've got themselves into some firefights on A, which means it's going to be pretty difficult for them to move out. If you're looking at that mini-map, they could run up the top there and quickly move over, but it seems like they want to try and have this fight out.
Oh my
PK, look at that. What magic. The secret weapon's not so secret anymore. Everyone knows it exists and they should be terrified of it. Nightmare now, that one lone agent. The spike is going off. We're going to call it, I think. SoftGang takes this round.
I'm surprised Nightmare didn't decide to place the turret to find any stragglers, maybe, but in this situation, there's not much you can do. I think that SoftGang being able to push onto A like that is just so unfortunate for the side of Team. I have to say, SoftGang are playing so well.
They are playing really well. They've got a good feel. I mean, like we said earlier, this is a team that competes together in another league. All studying, interestingly enough, at the Cape Town University of Technology, except for Scopes. He's studying graphic design at Boston. So this is also a group, probably because 4 of the players are studying together, likely sitting in lectures as well, so their communication will be really good. Playing together every night is really important. They've been in these competitive setups, and it's definitely showing. But as I say that, it's now a 4v4, so equal little matchup. PK though coming through there, having a little look-see.
And Mali with the Spectre gets rid of the Leer, but he doesn't really find much more to it. But Newt has the opposite angle that really Snowy was just pushing into Newt's crosshair, and PK wants to send the bomb elsewhere. Nightmare, however, has to actually run back. The Odin damage is just too scary. Quagga had a great angle, but they haven't really provisioned for PK still wanting to push through mid. Amali, probably on like 10 HP, 1 HP.
Really low there, and look at that. PK is going to be walking straight into 2 of Team's players. Is that going to be something he can take down? They know where he is. He's doing a lot of damage to them, but he's not quite landing them down. He's doing that now to just get an idea of exactly where they are. I think that that's important to him so that he has some understanding of what he's fighting against and where to find them.
Also now Yassine actually
One enemy
Lots of
remaining.
damage being taken in the situation, and Quagga comes out with 2 kills to close the round. I have to say, or would have to give it over to Nightmare there with some really nice usage of his utility from Killjoy with those swarm grenades, making sure that they cannot push through onto site through Garden. So I guess two rounds on the board now for team, but Softgang still really stealing the show on this attack.
They're playing so well, they're so fast, they're so coordinated, they've got this down, they know what they want. The Cape Town boys have come up to Joburg to take that victory, and that's what they need to do. And of course, in order to get into a spot into our grand finals, they are going to have to take down team. And I do think it's not going to be as easy as we're saying, because even though the scoreline says 8-2, we know that most of the team players come from a competitive Overwatch background. They've been in these situations before. They understand the mental game that comes with competing. So can't write them off just yet.
Definitely not, and Newt also applying, oh, he's actually pulling Snowy in, but there was no peak in time. They need to definitely peak a little bit sooner, take something out of the books of Softgang and the speed that they play at. Young Fade's now pushing through mid after getting a pick onto Amali. And it seems like they just want to go through defender spawn. It's flashed off on Quagga, he gets taken out by Young Fades, and they're going to actually posture towards A off of this, which once again, Nightmare is all set up on B. Trigger does find a pick, he does have the run it back, but will he opt to use it? And the Young Fades doesn't even care if he wants to try, because he gets shot in the head. So
I actually thought that Trigger might have that there. He did the little pre-fire to bait out Young Fades, but Young Fades just turned, shot, didn't miss that shot, which is always the risk that you do in situations like that. One of you's going to have to win it, and you got to hope that you're a better aim than the other person and a little bit quicker. Turns out Young Fades, in this case, he was the Speed Goblin.
Yeah, okay, Speed Goblin no more. Nightmare at least gets the pick on that. And I mean, right now, this is our second last round of the half. So once we do get to the final round, best case scenario, it's going to be 3-9, which is not the best look for team. And talking about not the best look for them, generally you'd see the defending side have the higher score of rounds in the first half. So team definitely playing from behind. But don't take away from them just yet, of course. This round just lagging behind a little bit whilst players finish things off, but we're going to be seeing a refresh of the economy any second now. Last round, and unfortunately, team has not provisioned for a full buy in the last round of the half. Amali cannot get his utility and his weaponry all in one buy, and I guess well, the rest of the team's actually quite fine. Quagga not really in the best situation either, but last round of the half, so they can make it work. Economy still looking fantastic on the side of Softgang, but ultimate-wise, it is 3-3 Amali. Hopefully he can find a pick to make something work, but run it back from Young Fades. He's going to be pushing over into B, getting rid of the turret. Can he find some more utility as he is on a site with 3 players? Oh, no damage onto Nightmare. And hopefully Amali can find some Snowy, finds a pick onto Nightmare. So now all of that utility from Killjoy is just not going to do anything. As soon as Killjoy dies, the utility gets turned off, and oh, PK with the Odin. Not going to let anything happen. Trigger uses run it back. They know that they need to use the ultimates, and now it's all up to 1. Trigger
needs to try and defend. He needs to try and defuse that spike as well, and while he's doing that, he's got to take down 4 players. It's not going to happen. Softgang takes another round. Team can't be happy with this. This is, I mean, they've put up I want to say a decent performance, but the truth is Softgang has just outclassed them at every turn.
They absolutely have. I mean, when you're playing Ascent, and especially with both these teams saying that they really enjoy Ascent as a map and they're prepared for it, you can't have the attackers run away with the momentum this early. You need to find a way to reset it, and I feel like that's just not something the team has done. But of course, team now on the attack. Maybe I'm just switching up my roles here, and we'll see the attack favor coming through. Of course, Yassine has set up his bot over on B, so once they push in, they do have to get rid of that over in logs.
I'll be interested to see if team has a better run on attack than what they had on defense. I think that they are all really strong FPS players, and maybe attack will be just a little bit better for them. Though, saying that, I think on this map, they should have got more rounds on defense, and I think that they'll be thinking that as well. These are all players that understand reading up on that. I say that Snowy does some damage. That's not a nice start to your attack.
Oh, Trigger falls even though he gets a pick, and now from the flank on mid, upper mid, oh, he's missing all the shots. Can he land it? Can he find Newt's head? It doesn't look like he's going to be smoked off from Amali. And okay, he does find it, but of course he loses PK in the trade. So he finds another in the curveball flash from his teammate. And oh, Nightmare's going to peek up on him from behind. And Nightmare's just going to grab the... Okay, he's grabbing the Ghost. He's moving over to A. He doesn't want to fight from mid. He wants to get the plant and play it from there. When you do get the plant, you do get some credits out of it. He's even going to make a pit stop at the ultimate orb so he gets closer to his lockdown. And closing the doors, he's not afraid of anyone being on site.
I mean, he should be, because I can see them coming. Killjoy is sneaking in. Phoenix is coming in the other side. He's about to be pincered right on in. As I say that, he just slowly starts to run away. So this will be interesting. I'm pretty sure they know that he's trying to make a runaway. So they're going to be watching that, possibly trying to bait them into starting the defuse. As I say that, that's exactly what happens. He's able to take down Young Fats. There we go, Nightmare. Made it a 1v1. He has, what, maybe 2 HP in a dream. Is he going to be able to do this? Can he claim it?
Oh my, he's actually playing this so well. If you look what's happened, he used the lineup to get a swarm grenade onto the bomb, but they got halfway. I don't think he knows this, and they're going to steal the round away from team. Fantastic play from Nightmare, but it wasn't enough.
Nightmare did a phenomenal job there. I like that he planted that spike, he baited them out, it worked in his favor, but then I just don't think he realized that it had so much defuse time earlier on, and that meant that he just did not get back to site quick enough, which is a pity, because when you put that much into it, to not see it succeed, to not see it stick, can't be easy. But we reset, we go again, and let's see how this goes. 11-2 currently. It is a best of 3, and we are on map number 1 in the first game of the semi-finals here in the Red Bull Campus Clutch.
Young Fades coming out of Catwalk. He wants... Oh, this is such an aggressive play, and I don't know if they're ready for the crossfire that has been set up for them. If we look at what Newton are doing, but no, they're going to peek, which means that compared to the crossfire that I thought was set up, it's Yassine and Scope that are the ones that have the advantage.
This is
okay.
Gonna be scary.
To trade. Yassine comes out on top. Curveball coming in. Wants to find Trigger, but misses all his shots. Trigger could technically turn around, hot hands. Keeps it from being pushed on, but there's one on top mid. Snowy. Oh,
look at Soft Gang with these practiced strats. They set themselves up so nicely. They knew exactly what they were wanting to do. So this is the thing about a competitive team, right? Is they knew that this is how we just lay it out. Now it's down to match point. They just need to do one more of those, and they're going to take the first map in the semi-final.
And I must say, if you're going to be playing on momentum, which they got from the attack side, continuing the momentum through with a map win, if that's the way it goes, which I can definitely expect it doing so, when I see Quagga only coming out with a Sheriff, which is really not where you want to be. But that is the type of momentum that you use to ride on to winning the best of 3. So of course, this is team playing for their life here, and an aggressive play from Snowy does mean that they have a bit more of a chance than they had before. They need to push onto A, there's no one there, and there is going to be a flank from Young Fates, and Quagga actually finds the kill from the Sheriff, which means that it is open. It is now a 5 versus 3. They're going to keep it alive, and they're going to keep playing. This could be the beginning of one hell of a reverse sweep. Scope going to try and remove some sightlines here. A flash is had, and now playing underneath the site is what they're going to opt for.
1 and a tiny bit of a player, as I say that. We're down to
PK.
1, and there we go. The attackers claim it, get another round. Team stays for a little while at least.
I mean, if anything, I'm going to say I believe in them. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that we're going to see some greatness coming out of this.
In a reverse sweep? You believe they're going to do that?
I mean, I feel like I have to.
So we're committing to that?
I mean, I will. I think you can stay on your laurels here. You can.
I don't have any laurels. I just sit on the middle ground and jump at the end of the game. So I'll carry on sitting here in the middle ground. Cloudburst says reverse sweep is coming.
I mean, I believe so, especially pushing onto A now. Yassine is heavily smoked off, playing under. And of course, there are 3 players on A, which is a little bit of a shake-up from what you usually see And directly from that, is this going to be a fake, using all those sky smokes so aggressively from Amali? He used all 3 of them, but of course Newt on the Astra.
Is it a potential fake? Are they going to try and move to B? If it is, I think that they've taken a little bit too long. It looks like they're just trying to do a split. So they're going to split their agents up, see where the defenders are, and then make decisions as to how to do that. I don't think SoftGang's going to fall for this. I think that they're pretty smart. You can see they've also split themselves up. So they've got someone just checking out.
Oh, this is going to be so good. Just you wait, look at this reveal.
Look at that Odin. Oh no!
Trigger! Trigger takes the Odin that he stole from PK in the previous round, gives him a little taste of his own medicine, pushing in with the run it back. His teams are now, well, his players are now on the site, but Scoped has such a lovely angle, he's going to play with it only on the Stinger. At least there is a trade. Newt holding mid, but they do have the site, and now
You should run.
Young Fades, it's his turn to come out with run it back, but he doesn't have much time left on it, of course. There is the lockdown, but Newt coming in from the back. The lockdown goes down, they're going to push onto it. Newt just gets free kills, gets one, can't find the second one just yet, needs to control that recoil, but there's only a Sheriff and Young Fades, and he does find it. And now team have really hurt the economy.
I'm on the middle ground, but I might be leaning towards the return. Slightly, just with my head. I haven't chosen to leave the middle ground yet, but that was a really impressive play from team. And I legitimately thought that SoftGang had it in the bag. To be fair, I think that they set themselves up really nicely, but team seems to have found a little bit of Red Bull and has got themselves some wings, because they flew around there, moved from A to B, knew exactly what they wanted to do. Now they got to do it again. My maths is really bad, so I'm just going to say that they have to do it again a lots.
Lots of times. So Quagga already using Dimensional Drift to try find some information, knows exactly where this player is, backs off, actually took some damage in that, funnily enough. Snowy going to be trying to hold a better angle, does get one. Dismiss might just allow him to get out of there. PK re-peaks it.
Okay, so we're down. It's a 4-3. The defenders have more players. As I say that though, Newt makes it an even 3-3. This is going to be an interesting one. 3 versus 3 as they move in. Potential match point. PK does some damage. Newt's gone. The spike is down. This is the opportunity. SoftGang could potentially win this match.
Hunter's Fury! Oh, he gets the tag, but he doesn't get the kill. Yassine, the lone defender on A side. He's going to peek. He's going to get some damage onto Amali, but it's not going to find the kill just yet. Quagga pushing in through main.
I'm leaning the other way, Cloudburst. I'm starting to lean the other way. I think this might be SoftGang's match.
Oh my word, he's trying to find Yassine. He does find it, but he falls as well. And it's all up to Amali to clutch this out. He does have the orbital strike, and he finds the bomb.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds, he could potentially send this through to B, and that might just be exactly what he does.
Is it going to be enough, though? I mean, there are 2 SoftGang members doing the rotate alongside with him. They're about to come into one another, drop some smokes just to hide it up. Moving back, here we go. He's coming on to B, but there's 2 on the other side.
10 seconds
Starts to plant. They know where he is.
He doesn't have time to orbital strike. And here we go, the classic. And here we have it, SoftGang taking my hopes away from me as they are going to win the first map on Ascent 13-4.
I have a little bit of whiplash now from moving my head backwards and forwards on this middle ground, but there you go. SoftGang, our #1 seed from Cape Town. We hadn't had a chance to see them play. They came in, they took the victory, and now we move to a second map. I don't feel like the scoreline was maybe as fair as it should have been to team. I think that they put up a really good fight, and it was a little bit more of an even play. But SoftGang, wow, coming here to play. First time we get a chance to see them, and they were impressive.
Oh, absolutely. Snowy stealing the show multiple times. Lovely, lovely play. Just mechanical skill showing up. But, of course, don't rest for too long, because we are going to be heading over to a break. Go get your drinks. Go get your breaks. And we will be right back shortly for our next map in this best of 3 series.
Welcome back to map number 2 of our first semi-final. SoftGang from Cape Town, our top seed. They were able to take the first victory, but now we move on to split. And of course, team isn't going to give up without quite a fight, I think, and I'll be interested to see what matchups happen here, how they change up their agents. I do think they're going to feel each other out a little bit, so you can see that they haven't locked anyone in. What they like to do is just kind of hang over them before they make decisions, Cloudburst. And after seeing these 2 teams play, Safe to say that Softgang will probably go for a well-known traditional sort of competitive setup.
I mean, absolutely. And if anything, I could see some more interesting picks coming out of the side of Team, especially we know that they like the double smokes, but now what they're hovering over here is double sentinel.
That's always a trick, though. So I always find that teams like to hover just to throw the other team off a little bit. But a double sentinel, I mean, if they go that route...
I mean, it definitely looks like they're going more standard. Maybe they're going to be sticking to their... Okay, looks like they're just going to go for the composition that they're used to, but not really much we can talk about. What I can talk about, though, is Split. Split as a map is one of the least favorite maps amongst the Valorant community. It's been like that since beta, even though it's gone through multiple new iterations of changes here and there. Map is a very tight map. Everything is very close
Select
quarter.
your agent.
And, of course, you've got the zip lines that you have to be aware of because it does give you a different level of vertical ability for you to move. But now looking at the comps here, over on the defender side for Team, Newt's still sitting on the Astra. Quagga no longer on the Yoru, going for something way more standard, going for the Phoenix. Nightmare, he's not leaving that Killjoy anytime soon. That is his little angel there. And Trigger going to be moving all the way over to the Sky. And Sky as a character is extremely interesting, and she's had a lot more play recently because people have realized that she has so much utility. She has way more utility than a lot of other agents, and what you can actually do is time it so that once you've planted the bomb, half your utility is still there, so that you can play the post-plant for post-plant defense. So, of course, gonna have to see how it pans out. Softgang, dominant victory previously.
Dominant from them, and I can tell you that Team did tell me before this event started that Split was probably their weakest map. So it didn't say that it was their least favorite. They said they enjoy all the maps, but they're definitely weaker on Split. So this is going to be an interesting one because, of course, what I find quite interesting is that Ascent actually was selected by Softgang, and Split was chosen by Team. So even though saying it was their weaker map, could be that they preferred it to Heaven. Maybe they have some more strats, but they did say that they were weaker than it. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes down. Or that was just a giant red herring, and they were trying to throw everyone off by telling me that.
Guiding Light. Just, oh my word, the shorty worked out. Taking down Snowy. Guiding Light, flashing the entire team.
That was fun. I like that. What a good start. Let's go. This is what I'm talking about. Trigger. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
I mean, Scope has to be so careful. They know that he's here. Now Newt. Newt is the one with the fancy angle. Oh, gets one. So much damage being dealt. Doesn't find the kills, but that's enough damage for the teammates to just close things out as Amali over on the Raze now. Oh, the Reyna. And popping off. Oh, flicks to the head, but doesn't find the shot. And now Nightmare closes it out. So really fantastic play there. You love to see it. And we're just going to have to head over to a very quick pause here.
Interesting, but that was an interesting start from Team, right? So what they decided to do, I like this. They told me they were weak on this map. Liars. They came in here and they had some changes up, clever little plays. The problem with those clever plays is you do them once, you can't do them again. So once they know what you're going to do, they're going to be waiting for it the next time. So how many clever plays do you have? Because you need to get all those rounds in. That's a lot of clever plays. Maths is not my strong point. We're going with a lot again. But I don't know if they can hold up doing that. They are going to have to go back to a more traditional style. Maybe after like 4 or 5 rounds, but I hope they have more of those up their sleeves because that's really fun to watch.
Oh, it really is. And if we look at this, talking about that, unfortunate, Trigger, being the player that made us really excited this round, is the player that disconnected. But at the rest of the team now, they're buying up to Spectres, they're buying up to full armor, they're going to really make it work. And on the side of Softgang, they have to save this. There's no way they buy. We're seeing PK buying some things, but I think he's just going to sell it once we have Trigger back in the fight. It's just that type of aggression. You have to find a way to deal with it. And, I mean, by the way, they're posturing and they're setting up. It looks like we're probably going to see an A hit, but I don't want to talk about that just yet.
It looks like they're looking to make the move. Softgang potentially moving onto A. That could be the option that they're going with, but we will have to wait and see. And, of course, Bind, quite a big map, but you can use those teleporters. They make a lot of noise, though, so it is really easy to sit back behind them and just wait for someone to use it and then get a pick. But still a fun map. I know a lot of people like those teleporters, and it is very balanced as well for both sides. So it doesn't favor one particular side, which gives you a lot of space to play, and I think that Team is going to take advantage of that.
It's a high chance of it. We'll have to see where things decide to go. Actually, a funny little tidbit here. With what we have with Newt now and Trigger, previously we had Newt disconnect, and they haven't changed which systems they're playing on. And now Team has to deal with Trigger disconnecting.
He's back in the server though, ready to go. I think that they're good to go. So we're
Let's
just gonna
check out quick and see.
wait a little bit, and of course all of the teams are here at the Nexus in Johannesburg for the finals of the Red Bull Campus Clutch. They all get to meet each other, so there's a fun social. When I say social though, very safe, socially distant. We're putting in all the necessary health protocols that need to happen, but everyone gets to meet each other as well, and I think that this is really important. For so many months we've been in a situation where we've had to play online, where we haven't had a chance to connect as a gaming community, and for the Valorant teams that are here, this is such a great day out just to remind us a little bit what normal looks like. And as I said that, we're now moving into the second round, and let's see how this goes. Of course, Softgang sitting on this defensive play, and we saw such an impressive attack from Team. Are they going to be able to do it again?
Oh, Amali going with the re-peek. Almost gets a kill on PK, but it's not quite enough. Quagga wants to also peek. He does get one, and now he has to back off. He does not have the hot hands ready to go. He cannot kill himself, but he does have a curveball. And Newt actually is backing off. They're going to be giving up the site, which in this situation is actually the right thing to do. Now a crossfire. Okay, actually just walling off Newt. He's going to have to decide, is he going to break this, or is he just going to play around it? Opting to break it. And PK just going to be hiding underneath Heaven here. Trailblazer comes out, gives away his position, and Quagga sends it in.
Cloudburst. This is not the map I was talking about during the pause. I think I got a little bit confused, but it isn't the map, so I'm just letting you all know that if you were listening to me, which you really shouldn't have, we're not playing on Bind. Of course, it is split, but
the worst part is I got confused as well.
Oh, it turns out Cloudburst thought it too. We are your Valorant shoutcasters for the day. Woohoo! We got the right map now.
Over on Split, zippy lines.
Zippy lines. Okay, we're going to fix this up a little bit. Don't you worry. Multi-levels as well. I quite like this because of the multi-level, so you can really take a chance. You can get a little bit of height. Also, what I find quite fun about this is specifically for A, is you can really shut it down quite tight if you want to. So if you're a defender and you make the decision that they're coming to A, you can shut it right down, close it up, choke everyone out, force them into one entry point.
Yeah. And
the question, of course, will be if that is going to happen.
I mean, at the moment, it looks like we're going to be moving over to mid. Players a little bit slower. This is nice. This is really nice. We have not seen much of the slow play today. And of course, this does mean that Newt has to back off. Boombot is going to be coming in. Nightmare knows what's happening. Alarmbot goes off. He's going to be using his utility right now. Scope does get a pick off, but they're just stuck in mail. They haven't actually pushed through just yet. PK gets a kill. Trade onto Nightmare after his comrade has fallen. And oh my word, he knew that Newt was going to be sneaking up from behind. Though, is he aware that Quagga is also on a bit of a flank?
Spike planted.
They are joined with Amali though, who's going to pick up a Spectre. No sound, don't have a weapon equipped. Oh no. PK doesn't have a Devour ready to go. The Rain nerf has reduced the survivability, but Amali just going to be running through and getting the headshot.
It's quite a big task ahead now for Amali to take out all three of these players. They'll have a good idea that they're coming. Their team would have spoken. This is the thing. There's communication that you don't maybe hear, where the team will say, I've just been downed by so-and-so over here. And when that happens, then it's almost impossible to get on site when you're that standalone player, which is what we saw there. So 2-1, but currently 2-1 to Team. So they're going to be pretty excited about that. Of course, we saw them go down on the last map. Much more even here.
Yeah, I must say, it's already, as you say, it's already looking a little bit more even. Split is a map that the massive issue that was had on the past here was just how much easier this map was on defense. So I hope that isn't still a factor, especially with Trigger over on the sky. I feel like that does shore off a bit of it. And Newt once again just has to back off. Look at this aggression coming in. Paint shells. Oh, he doesn't actually get damaged by it. That's impressive. Oh, never mind. He jumped right back into it. And into Young Fades. Crosshair. Nightmare tries to find her as well, but Young Fades is having the time of his life taking down these players. He's got a Phantom. Gets peeked from Amali.
Spike down A.
Let me try to see if I can get hold of Amali's view. Oh, again, his view as he falls to Snowy.
You
Quagga.
got to see what he saw just before he died. Here we go. Quagga's going to try it. He's standing alone. Look how bad that HP is. It's not going to be enough. Goes down, and now we even it out. Soft Gang makes it 2-2.
And 2-2 is where you want to be, especially with your opponent starting on defense. For Soft Gang right now, this is actually a fantastic situation. If you look at the economy as well, this is very high chance of this becoming a 3-2 instead.
Need a drop.
I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to get whiplash. I sit in the middle. You tell me one thing, I start leaning. I'm going to spend my entire time rocking backwards and forwards. But I'm going to take your word for it, though.
I mean, oh no, this terrible thing's gonna happen to me. But I'm gonna do it anyways. Okay.
This is how I live my life. It's how some of these players live their lives too, if you watch them. They take those risks and those sneaky angles. We're now in the game, so let's go. Snowy coming in for the attack with Raze. Takes one down. Nicely done. Amali is out with that little headshot. And now Nightmare's just trying to get some intel. I think Scope's taken out Trigger, but very quickly that was traded. But
Let's see what Nightmare can do here. Only a stinger, last player alive, and they're just going to sidestep all the utility that Nightmare put down. But are they going to notice? They do notice him being there. So close to getting the kill onto Yassine. But it's
how
not
good
enough.
was that though? Soft Gang uses the higher ground, and they just both drop down at the same time. That was beautifully executed from them. Really, just an impressive play. Cloudburst was right. Now it's 3-2. So team needs to rethink a few things a little bit and figure out their economy. I mean, they've bought up a bit, but not looking as great as I'm sure they'd like.
Not at all, especially with Trigger accidentally buying in the previous round, or, well, not accidentally, it was very intentional, but wasn't really the right decision. So having that is, it's detrimental. Nightmare, at least, is now going to be setting up in mid-mail with a lot of utility. So if we do see Soft Gang push through, which is what we're going to see, Leo comes out, but Leo doesn't stop this and standing inside of it right now. Chout gets some damage in, but once
PK
again...
and that Odin, oh my gosh. Soft Gang's secret weapon, not a secret anymore, just Soft Gang's very big, dangerous weapon.
Ooh, Nightmare shot too soon, never mind. Finds PK, and Sight is controlled right now by Soft Gang, but hopefully we can see that change. Already right now, Trigger has used the Seekers. They're going to be going fast and just finding some kills. Spike is planted over in default, but Nightmare, with a little peek, gets the first kill. Trigger going to try and find Scope, which is what Nightmare takes down. And now it is all up to Yassine. Yassine does find Amali over in mid. Can swap to the Odin if he so pleases.
Definitely would have been hurt there. His feet were noisy, but it would appear like they were able to defuse. And unfortunately for Soft Gang, but great for team, we even it up. We're now on 3-3.
I think this is the big thing I'm saying. I feel like these teams are actually very evenly matched. The economy is really what is deciding these battles. Or it's a bunch of things, but I feel like the economy is one of the main factors that is really deciding which way the matches are going. So now, of course, we do have a Force Spy coming in from the defenders over on team. That's 2 players with Spectres right now. But what might just be happening is an aggressive push into Garage. Snowy going to be playing out with the Showstopper, trying to find a kill.
Yes, use the
Lockdown.
rocket launcher.
This is actually the attacker's lockdown. Trigger, only one guiding light left. They can't push in. They have to stall this out. And okay, they do find Snowy. That's a double peek. Out comes Trailblazer, and they need to find some information so they can actually start pushing onto this. But I mean, the player falls before they need the information. Right now, in Garage is where they were currently situated. Yassine finds a kill with the Swarm Grenade. But now Trigger and Amali have control of the bomb. Guiding light makes a different noise if there is a player there. And that's perfect. It's all up to PK with his Odin. And Trigger using the bomb, and
nicely done, PK and the Odin. There they are, godlike, really. I don't know if you can see what I did there, but I thought that was kind of clever. All
that was great.
Now we get into it. 4-3. Once again, this is just a tug of war between the two. Backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Walk me through what we saw there, though, because for anyone watching, there was lots of green, and then there was some purple smoke, and then there was darkness. I mean, kind of impressive from Soft Gang, right, for an attacking play?
Absolutely. I think that from Softgang, they got into the site extremely quickly. The showstopper opened up so much space, and behind that, Yassine placed down the lockdown. So due to that, the defenders had to run off of the site, and then they played from there. So it really sets the pace of the match.
Look at Trigger with that shoddy. I've seen this before. We won in it with the shorty. We
Oh,
won
but
this here
PK has
before.
loaded.
But PK with his Odin ruined all my fun. Now it's just an out-and-out firefight, and it's not going in the favor of team.
Oh no, we're gonna see. Oh, he actually gets the pick. That gets rid of the Odin. Newt not in the best position. I can't say the same for Quagga either. Although
Spike
caught
planted.
unawares. How was that first shot a miss?
Impressive, but he knows where they know where he is now. He's got to move out if he can, but it's fighting from all ends. Newt has gone and picked up the Odin. Clever boy. He's going to be able to use this to his advantage, and now it's going to be interesting because even though Newt's HP is low, he has a very big gun.
That he does, and if you actually look at what happened, Yassine was inside ropes here and decided to back off all the way back into spawn. So it looks like they're just going to go for a save.
Maybe trying to save that big gun. I do the same.
So
Newt goes, this is mine. I found it. I picked it up off the floor. So let's keep it for a little bit longer.
I mean, they definitely can do that. They don't have any worries in that regard. They just picked up an Odin. They picked up a Phantom. It was a save round. So going off of that, finding weaponry, as I said before, it's very even when the economy is even. Having weaponry so that your economy for the future rounds is going to be bolstered is extremely important. Of course, if we're talking about economy for future rounds,
Look
Softgang.
at Softgang. They're balling, man. Dollar
They are
bills.
hard-balling.
I imagine them in the gaming room right now, which I'm sure they're not doing. Just, you know,
Just
flashing
throwing money
their
around.
cash, flashing their cash. I've seen that move. They're looking really comfy. They got enough cash. This is going to hold them well. And I think this is when you start looking towards the longer game. They're in a good place.
They really are, and A right now is defended by only Amali. And okay, it looks like they've already changed that around. Newt also posturing towards A. Trigger holding back as well. But there are going to be 3 of the attackers over on A as well. Slowly but surely, we're going to be pushing up ramps.
This is
Snowy.
Softgang's slow play, right? This is what they like to do sometimes. They just completely change the pace. That's what they've done now. But as I say that, there we
Oh
go.
my, Snowy.
A nice little backwards and forwards. Snowy takes out Newt. Trigger takes out Snowy. But now there's lots of comms that are going to happen. Young Feds has decided to plant that spike. And PK is just holding
Oh,
that
wow,
angle. Not
Trigger.
well enough, though. So this is starting to look like a lot of trades. Backwards and forwards. Trigger knows exactly
Oh,
where
that was
everyone is.
really well played.
Look at this from Trigger. He's just on the hunt.
Having those Seekers to follow exactly where your opponents are, they have to get rid of them, otherwise they're going to be stunned. And now Trigger also finding Young Phase. That means they can start diffusing because they know it's all up to Scope. And he's not able to close it out. Finally, the back and forth has returned.
It's the tug of war of the ages here at the Campus Clutch. So this means that team gets another round on the board. 5-4 currently. They're not dropping without a fight. They did, of course, lose on Ascent 13-4. So they've just equalized their score from the last game. It's like a different team. I want to know what they put in their Red Bulls when they went outside, or the conversation that they had, because right now they're just looking way better than what... I mean, I'm just going to say it like that. It sounds harsh, but they are looking way better than what they
They
did
are
in the
looking
first
much
map.
better. It's a case of what did they put in the Red Bull and what did they put in their team chats. But
Someone had a conversation somewhere. That's what happened.
Obscuring vision.
so interesting here, if we look at the map actually where Nightmare set up, he has so much utility in front of him here just to stop the push over onto B site. And it's perfect timing as well because that's exactly what PK wants to do. Using the Lyra into... Oh my word, into so much utility. Snowy's going to take quite a bit of damage from that as well. Oh, Snowy's almost dead actually. Pain Shells is going to scare Nightmare away. Doesn't manage to get the kill. Is actually being healed even.
If
although it's
Snowy
not
had
enough.
pulled that off, it would have been magical. Unfortunately, he was hurt. There was a little bit of a flick around, and it
Spike
wasn't
down,
enough.
B.
Right now that the spike has gone
One
down, this is
enemy
always
remaining.
a problem. Once that spike goes down and it's not on sites, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but they're going to try and make it work. And when I say try and make it work, I don't think that they can. There we go.
Ah.
Defenders take it. Team evens it out 5-5, and they've just beaten their score from the last map.
Rightio.
They have equalizing the score, beating yourself, and now economy-wise, you're still in a good position. Nightmare can buy a weapon for Newt. They can continue the momentum that they have now. And if they manage to win this round and take it 6-5, then we're going to see a save round coming out from the side of the attackers.
They said that this was their weakest map. I stand by what I said. I think they were lying. I actually think that this is possibly the best we've seen them so far in the competition. I mean, we did watch them earlier up against Sonops A. I think they look better now on this map than they've looked the whole tournament. So the question now, of course, is it's all very fun to equalize. They're going to have to beat. And as I say that, Snowy just gives us a little chuckle and a headshot.
Oh, that was great. And okay, he wants to go for the stun. Newt, you did it a little bit too late there, buddy. And Amali also wanted to scratch in from behind, but Snowy. Oh, okay. At least does get taken out from Nightmare. Star player has fallen, but I still don't think that a 1v4 is possible in the situation for Nightmare. Probably just going for the save, although there is going to be a bit of a lurk here from PK, and that's exactly what happens.
You're just like
We're back to the backwards and forwards. Soft Gang takes this 6-5 now. This is what you're going to be seeing the whole way through. They're going to backwards and forwards. First to 13 is the winner, and right now if they carry on like this, it'll be anyone's guess as to who claims it.
Absolutely, and looking at the economy as well, not every player can buy up in this situation. Quagga coming out with the Sheriff, Newt with a Spectre, and a full buy. They're even buying extra and throwing it on the floor for an insult to injury coming out from Soft Gang. But we could see Trigger pushing out aggressively, not using utility for the information, but run it back. It's going to come out, and there's going to be a second push, but there's a crossfire. They do find the kill. Can they get Yassine as well? Doesn't quite look like it. Going for the orb. Yassine might need to push this, but opts not to, which is fantastic for them. Of course, Newt does fall in the trade that's happening right now. Resurrection as well for PK.
Okay, that's useful. Evened it out again, 4-4 with that resurrection. They're going to like that.
Oh, Trigger
is able to do a little bit of damage, but very quickly Young Fades makes sure that he gets punished for it. And we're now back to 3-3. Such an evenly matched team. This is really, really impressive.
Oh, absolutely. But site is controlled from Soft Gangs. They are the attackers, and they currently have the site. Defender Killjoy, though. This means that after they get the plant, they do not have that many. They don't have much time to get out of it. They have to hold Garage, but now we need to see team play around Garage. They have to use some form of utility to keep them off of that. I'm not sure what that utility is. Nightmare has an alarm bot out, but they've used the swarm grenade to keep them away from it. A peek from Amali, but he's on his own. Quagga comes in, but he can't quite find the kills.
Scoped was able to take him out. Now Quagga's trying to figure out if he can break in there somehow. I don't think that they can. They've got this on lockdown. There it is. Soft Gang takes down one, takes down two. Young Feds holds it off, and we're on 7-5. That's the first time in a long time we've seen a 2-round lead on either side of these. So there we go. Impressive play from Soft Gang. They're starting to feel like they've figured out what it is the team is trying to do. But this is the type of Valorant we've been looking for in the semi-finals. It's a trip overseas up for grabs, so you got to work for it.
You definitely do, and also keep in mind that whoever wins this is going over to the finals. So you're fighting for the finals right now, and the potential teams that are going to be in there on the other side is either Valorant or Luna, and both those teams look terrifying at the moment.
Valorant's the favorite, Luna the chaotic dark horses, the wild dark horses. There we go, we'll go with that. I mean, those are pretty chaotic. So they're the wild dark horses, don't know what to expect from them. They'll be battling it out a little bit later, and one of them will be the team that either Soft Gang or Team has to meet in the grand finals.
Okay, looking at mid now, the attack is so important here. Trigger using the Trailblazer to try find something over on A site, but nothing seen just yet. Newt just standing in the swarm grenade. Yassine does manage to get that down. Of course, there is the turret that was placed from Nightmare. I don't think they're going to push for A. They forced the rotate. If we're going to talk about rotates, Snowy right now.
Important just to remind you, if you are watching in the lounge and you're a little bit confused right now, Soft Gang is on defense. You can tell that by the kind of green cover at the top. And then you've got Team on attack. They're the red guys. That should help you along a little bit to follow what you're watching. And as I say that, Snowy sees Amali, shoots him in the head. This was an impressive play from Softgang. They've done a very quiet defense. It's almost a little bit sneaky, but it's working in their favor. Hello, Snowy. Where have you been?
Snowy flanked all the way through the attacker spawn
But we
to
said
get
that
a
there
flank.
is a plant happening.
planted.
Here's the plant. But, I mean, can you do it when you've got all those players? I say that Trigger's being able to take out Scope, so there we go.
Oh, finds
Trigger
Trigger.
does it again with
Onto
PK.
PK.
Trigger, can you do it again?
Third. But
He can't.
he can't, but there we go. There's the swarm grenade coming from Nightmare, and he's got another lineup. He can stall this for so long.
Swarm grenade.
But he could also get pushed on. It gets halfway, and we've seen this happen before. No Nightmares, this can't happen twice in one tournament. He doesn't get the pick.
Nightmare goes down. They're going to run
Oh
into
my.
Diffuse. Softgang makes it 8-5. Good defense from them. What a play, though, from Team.
Oh, team really putting all the effort in. Softgang coming out on top. I love Nightmare's lineups. He knows how to use a swarm grenade, but the timing just needs to be fixed, and all his teammates need to hold back a bit, because his teammates falling in the situations is what's putting him at the point where he is unable to actually make it work or make it last long enough. But of course, 5-8 now. It is second half, so you will not see any more side switches here.
They don't have a
And
chance.
Softgang are looking very good on the defense so far.
Look what they've done there. If you take a look at your mini-map, the way they've spread themselves up really nicely with enough space to rotate so they can see exactly where
wow.
team is coming in. And look, you can see what they've been able to do. They've taken out 2 of the team members, and now they're just going to pick off the third. They've set themselves up so well. They're rotating on to A, the last few members of Softgang, so that they can take this down. I don't know. The spike carrier's gone down. That means the spike's down.
One enemy remaining.
And there's one person left. It's not going to be enough. I don't think that they can do it. And Softgang keeps their lead running.
And I feel like there's a bit too much of an aggression there coming in from team. They didn't all need to bunch up like that, especially when you know Snowy's on the raise. They've now given him the showstopper from the amount of kills he got that round. Paint Shells picked up a kill. Satchel Charge picked up a kill. You don't want to be in those situations, and now staring down ultimate-wise, only Trigger has the Seekers ready to go, so let's see how they decide to utilize this on their Sage player.
It was looking like team was going to turn it around, but now it looks like they're struggling a little bit to break the defense.
Oh my.
Oh, Snowy,
Fuse.
yes! Thank you so much!
Okay, there is a trade. Marley goes down though, and now the amount of information that just came off of that as well. They know that they want to push over to B, and now they're also doing it really slowly. That slow orb keeping them back. Triggers, Trailblazer, not lasting very long. And now they're going to be walking into all the utility here. Swarm Grenade's going to come out, and that means that right now Quagga is out on his own. Can't find the pick onto PK, who's actually going to be fully healed from the Devoured as well. In fact, overhealed, 130 effective HP. And hopefully we see a rotate coming out from this, although that rotate is going to be thwarted because as they move into mid, it has also been walled off. If they move over to A, we have our Resident Omen and Scoped just waiting for it. So
Let me
backs
tell
against
you
the
how you
wall.
win around. You use a giant rocket launcher, which is what we've seen. Snowy is my new favorite Valorant player.
Standing.
Trigger and Newt have gone down. Nightmare's left standing. His HP is really bad. He's also got the spike, which is pretty useful. Maybe in 30 seconds he can make a move, but he's going to have to go up against 4 of the Softgang members.
And they're just going to be chasing him. They know he's waiting there.
What did I say about rocket launchers? If you want to win a round, start it with a rocket launcher. Razor's showstopper. That's what it's about. Everyone gets a rocket launcher.
Oh, I'm going to tell you about a game mode called Escalation. You're going to love it.
By
Everyone
the way,
starts
I
with
play it all the time because of the rocket launcher.
So looking at this now, 3 points away from match point. However, staring down defeat on the previous map. Now on Split, down 5 rounds. Team need to bring it together. If anything, force it into overtime, find a way to play it. But once again, they're just going to be aggressively pushing over onto A. Snowy, of course.
I wonder if they need to do this slow. Do a little tease, make the move to determine where you're going to move. Get Softgang to just move everyone onto site before you make your play. I say that they are playing this quite slow. I think that they know the angles that these players are going to be sitting at. They're trying to watch them, and now the firefighting begins. All of team is
the
down
just
there.
keeps going.
They took out Snowy, and now it looks like the attackers have the upper hand. 4 players, 3 defenders who are now having to rotate
Molly.
themselves onto the A site.
Oh no, Molly, you didn't kill it! Oh, now he's vulnerable, he takes double damage. Whilst PK is just busy shredding through the rest of team.
PK and
Guiding
the
Light.
Odin, he does that.
Guiding Light is going to flash him. He doesn't find another pick off that, but Yassine is happy to find one instead, and we could potentially see a sneaky rotate through to B, as we only have 1 player on Softgang looking in this direction. Nightmare gets the kill, and yes, this is exactly what they're doing. I love this. And whilst this is happening, Trigger
30 seconds left.
happily sitting on his own here, although, oh no, he
They've
could
picked
get
it
shot
up.
from
They're
behind.
sending
They
someone
know
through
he's
mid.
there. That's what they've
They're
done.
aware of what's coming. They've made the rotation. Even though the spike is planted, this is now going to be really tough for Nightmare to hold.
Oh, it's going to be damn near impossible. On his own, in garage, got PK pushing up over in heaven, trying to find the location. Young Fades is going to be coming in through side entrance. And they've gotten rid of the alarm bot, but I don't know how much of a setup.
Young Fades is going to make the call to
He's
defuse.
going to get halfway.
This is their decision, I believe, is to simply just bait him out with the defuse, figure out where he is. Now they
Oh,
have.
they
That
find the
was
kill.
very smart. Softgang knew that was clever. Young Fates comes in, he starts the defuse. They know that the moment they start the defuse, Nightmare has to go on the attack. The moment he attacks, he reveals his position. Easy pick off. 11-5 to Softgang.
And now, Softgang, if they win this, they are going to be moving over to match point. And once they're in match point, the situation is either we win it out, or if you're on team, your only choice is overtime. And judging by the way it's going right now, Softgang 11-5, doing well on attack and defense. On overtime, you have to switch the sides, you have to win both. And I'm starting to get very worried for team here.
They're doing a little split, it seems. Obviously, we're calling it during the buy phase, but it would appear Softgang does this really nice spread out so that they can move themselves between 2 sites. But it would appear the team is going to try attack on both ends, see what's going to happen. I think that the idea is to feel it out, find out where the space is. Don't know if it's going to work against Softgang because they spread themselves out so well. But we'll have to obviously wait and see. It's an interesting tactic.
Oh, Snowy finds the pick onto Newt, but does he know there's a second one? Not quite aware of that, but of course, whilst all of this is happening in mid, PK actually gets taken down from Trigger after he gets a kill. Young Fades.
It would appear now that team is going to make the move to A, or are they going to go up mid? They've almost changed their mind there. So what is happening? Because you've got all of your Softgang players kind of
Joke's
separated
over.
from one
You're
another.
dead.
Okay, this is very interesting. Using the run it back before the wall breaks, so that actually takes up quite a lot of time. He's probably not going to find the pick here. He doesn't. Young Fade's barely taking any damage, if any damage at all, and now Trailblazer comes out to try and distract it. It actually works. Quagga finds the kill and knows the location of another player. So all the information is on the side of team, but Nightmare having to back off Yassine
30
on the
seconds
back
left.
foot. He's the last player alive. He's playing inside entrance. His target gets taken down. Trigger tries to find the kill. Nightmare just needs to go and plant. Exactly
He
what
does
is going to
just
happen.
that. He's going to start planting, and now it becomes difficult because, of course, Softgang needs to decide how they want to do this. Taking on 3 players and a defuse.
Oh, Yassine does find one though, and this peeking one at a time could potentially spell doom for team.
He's given away where he is now. This is the thing. So people will know where he is. This will give them a better opportunity to potentially shut him down. Is he going to be able to do it? I don't know. Running out of time. You can hear that beep going. And as I say, that team pulling it back. 11-6.
11-6 and still losing 3 players in that brawl, which does mean that it looks like they can buy up completely. But once again, economy not the greatest actually on either side. But luckily for the side of Softgang, they don't need to have a long-lasting economy. They just need an economy for the next 2 rounds. So if they win this, they are in such a good position. If we see team lose this, they can't actually buy up for the decider. So this is a very important one, and right away PK starting with the Empress. And for those who don't know what Empress does, you go all purple and people are highlighted in red when you see them. your recoil is heavily reduced, which makes it really powerful with the Odin. And you instantly gain health as if you used your Devour as soon as you get a kill. And Yassine!
Spike down
How
A.
did I miss that?
Well, I mean, because it was very exciting. Someone was purple.
Okay, Amali gets killed from Scoped, and looks like worst case situation for team right now, as Economy is going to be in shambles for the final match point.
Match point. This is it. This is an opportunity to find yourself in the
Match
South
point.
African finals of the Red Bull Campus Clutch. Soft Gang from Cape Town, our #1 seed. They got a bye and a free entry into the semi-final, and they are showing exactly why. Playing up against Team, our 4th seed. They dominated in the first game, taking the win at 13-4, and now 12-6 to Soft Gang. This is it, Cloudburst. This is their opportunity, a grand final up for grabs, and the economy of Team ain't so great.
That's even an understatement for what's happening here, as PK just trying to push as much damage into Ramen as possible.
should run.
Leah comes out and Newt
Feeling
actually
safe.
getting a kill. What we do see here from Nightmare is using the lockdown to try and open up the site. Of course, this does mean that all the players have to back off. Seekers is going to be coming out as well. But now, oh, alarm bot and a counter lockdown to keep them off of the site. They're going to push in. If they opt, okay, they're actually just going to back off, and we're going to see Trigger pushing forward with the guiding light, wanting to get rid of the lockdown, which is exactly what happens. There's another guiding light here, but they didn't push onto the site. The lack of communication, I think.
It's a 3-3 right now, but the health of all 3 members of the team is not looking great. They're going to do the push anyway. They're hoping they can get it. You saw them there.
You're dead.
Moving on, doing the quick rotate, trying to figure out where they want to go. But has Soft Gang realized that right behind them, he's figured it out, so he's just moving back.
This is the double switcheroo. Nightmare. They've used the run it back on A, and now they're going to go back to B. If you look at the mini-map at all here,
30 seconds
it's just
left.
players running back and forth. But now Trigger going to be using the Trailblazer. PK finds a pick onto Nightmare, and that
down
causes the spike to be dropped. Gets a pick with the Stinger.
Currently 2-2, but that spike is now sitting there. They're going to have to... it's been picked up. I take that back. It has been picked up, so now that they can move. But as I say, that scope's got them one more left. This
Oh,
is it.
one versus one.
Goes down 1v1. Oh my.
Oh,
Quack
this
is
is
going
gonna
to do
be
the
it.
plants. Yassine,
Spike
have you
planted.
seen him? Do you know?
Yes,
you
he
do.
does.
There he goes. Time for the defuse, but this is all just semantics. They are through to the finals of the Red Bull Campus Clutch. Soft Gang from Cape Town. Congratulations. 2-1 victory. And they just slide on into the finals.
Absolutely. I must say, team looked a lot more composed there, but we will have to say goodbye to them over here. So before we go into the finals, or the next semi-final, so you can see who Soft Gang is going up against, we're going to have to say that we're going to give this a short break from our side. Sam and I have been pretty overhyped for that one.
And we're about to get more hyped. Valorant and Luna's coming up right after this.